Hello friends, in English language and communication skills, you would recall that up till now in the offline classes that we have had, we have covered 3.5 units and we were in the middle of discussion on unit 4. One particular topic which was remaining in that particular unit which we covered here through online classes. This particular topic is about technical report writing, and in the next few sessions that we'll have, we will be talking about technical report writing. Before starting off discussion on how to write a technical report, we need to understand as to why in the first place do we need a technical report. Why do we require reports? Now please understand, reports are used for formal communication in organizations, specifically when you need to create records for future references. What does this mean? Future references would mean bhavishya ke liye, if you want to create records, so you need to have reports, right? So in reports, generally what happens is people at the lower or the middle management level, they apprise their supervisors. Apprise means inform their supervisors, tell their supervisors or their seniors in the top management about the various tasks that they've been assigned, right? So for example, it could be the progress on an assigned task. Now what do we mean by progress on an assigned task? For example, let's say Vanchit is a manager at the middle management level, and he has been assigned this task that he has to recruit 5 scientists so that the company can develop a new vaccine for coronavirus, right? So Vanchit is a middle management executive. Now if he wants to apprise his supervisors or his top management about the progress that he has made in the task which has been assigned to him, he will be doing what? He will have to write a formal report, and then he will apprise the supervisors as to what has been the progress on the assigned task, which means the assigned task was recruiting 5 scientists. What has been the progress on this particular task? Such reports are known as periodic or routine reports. Why routine reports? Because they have to be submitted on routine basis, on a regular basis. That is why they are called periodic or routine reports. Many a times there are some abnormal developments, exceptional cases. For example, let's say I am a teacher in this particular department, and suppose there is a fire incident someday in the department. It may so happen that my top management, the principal and the directorate may want me to submit a report on what was the reason behind this particular incident. In this case also, I will have to write a report and submit it to my top management. This kind of a report would be known as special reports. Why? Because they would not be used in regular course. They would only be used, they would only be written and submitted when something abnormal, which is not normal, that is abnormal. So something abnormal has happened, some exceptions have taken place, right? Then many a times it may so happen that I, as a teacher of this department, is given this particular assignment by my principal that I will have to go to various departments and to inspect whether the students are using the proper hygiene against coronavirus. Are they maintaining social distance? Are they wearing masks? Are they using sanitizer on a regular basis or not? So I have to make these observations. I have to go around the college. I have to make these observations, and whatever I have found out, I have to let my top management, let my principal know about that. So what kind of report will I file? I will be filing an inspection report wherein I'll be talking about the observations that I've made, whether or not students are maintaining social distancing or not, whether or not they are following the general rules of hygiene or not. So these observations would be part of this kind of an inspection report. Now then, many a times in companies, they decide whether or not to go for a particular project. I'll give you an example. Suppose Maruti Suzuki which is basically based in Gurgaon, and they are operating from Haryana and in and around Delhi area, they feel that they need to have a plant in Pithoragarh area also, so that they can manufacture their cars in Pithoragarh also. But now whether this is a feasible idea, this is a workable idea or not, for that what will they do? The Maruti top management will assign the task of finding out the feasibility of this particular production plant in Pithoragarh area to some junior level manager. So these managers would be given this task to survey Pithoragarh and to recommend whether or not to set up a Maruti Suzuki plant in Pithoragarh. What do we mean by plant? Plant basically is the production unit, the factory, as we say in layman terms. So whether or not Maruti should set up a factory here in Pithoragarh, the recommendations have to be given by these people from the middle management level or the lower management who would be coming to Pithoragarh, and they would be surveying the conditions here, and then they would make their recommendations to the top management. Now these kind of recommendations can be part of project reports. Why is this a project report? The project was whether or not to set up a production plant in Pithoragarh, so that is why they are known as project reports. Then many a times, for example, Nestle Maggi decides to launch 4 different flavors in the Indian market. But what kind of flavor should they launch? Should they launch the Pudina flavor, or should they launch the Dhania flavor? Should they launch the Paneer flavor, for example, or should they launch the non-veg flavor? Now, for this decision, they will conduct some researches. What do we mean by research? They will go to the customer, find out what the customer likes, and based on what most of the customers say, they would decide which particular flavor to launch. So it may so happen that 80% of the customers whom they talk with, they say that they like Pudina flavor, so they would be launching Pudina flavor in the Indian markets. Now, these kind of endeavors, these kind of efforts are known as researches, and that is why those reports which talk about the results obtained in these researches, they are known as research reports, right? Please understand at your level what is the most important aspect for you. You have to actually learn how to write a research report. Why? Because this would be required by you in your 4th semester. After you complete your 4th semester, you go for your internships, and therein you do some project in a particular firm, and you have to prepare a report on whatever you have done in that particular firm. You might be conducting some researches for them, some market researches for them, and you'll have to present your finding to us and also to the external examiner. So how do you do that? You will have to write a research report. Likewise, in your 6th semester, you will have to prepare a dissertation project wherein you will be researching something, some phenomena, and then you will have to write about whatever you have found out. So that again will be an example of a research report. So what is expected from you is to write such research reports, and that is why when I'll be taking these sessions on technical report, I'll be concentrating basically on research reports, right? So just to give you a brief of what are the different contents of a report, what all does the report constitute of? So a report is constituted of 3 different sections. The first one is known as the introductory. Shuruvati section is known as the introductory section, wherein we have these kind of things. Regular title pages we have, certificate of authorization, acknowledgement, table of contents, which is also known as index, and then we have got list of illustration as executive, summary or abstract. We'll be talking about these different subsections in detail in the coming sessions. Then we have the main body. Now this is the main part of the report, wherein you will be having these subsections. Again, we'll be talking about them in a little detail in the coming sessions. So this basically is the main part of the report, wherein you talk about what you actually did, what data did you collect, what were your findings, and based on that, what do you recommend to your company, or what do you recommend to your top management, or what are your recommendations for the company in which you are doing your internship. So this is going to be the most important aspect of the report, the main body of the report. And then we have the ending section, the concluding section, wherein we have these subsections, right? Again, please understand that different reports might deviate a little from this particular format, but by and large this is the format that we follow while we are writing a report. Fine. So we'll be continuing our discussion in the next sessions, and we'll be taking up all of these sections in detail. So till then, thank you very much for your time.